Bedford, Texas. And man, before I introduce everybody, I want to just kick this off real quick. We got a special guest on the line that everybody's been so excited to hear from. We're talking about the High Seas Rally. We're talking about all the entertainment, and I'm proud to announce who we got on the phone right now, Miss Lita Ford. Welcome, Lita. Is she on? Welcome, Lita.
The show sounds really good. I was rocking out here to ZZ Top, making a coffee, thinking, wow, I should be drinking some beer.
I don't have a problem with that. Beer.
Lita,
no, you know, that's what we used to do in the backyard parties is we would jam ZZ Top and we would drink beer. And that's it. Well, the two go hand in hand.
That's what it's all about. I want to welcome you to the 99% Radio Network. I just want to let you know who's here with us today. We got myself, Sideshow, my co-host 12. We got the world's only biker hypnotist, Gary Michaels. And we have
oh, nice. Hi, Gary.
Hey, Lita, how are you, sweetheart? You know, I was trying to catch up with you in Sturgis this year, but your show was actually the same time that mine was, and we didn't get a chance to come see you, so I do apologize. However, Miss Lita, I have one question for you, okay? I've been in the radio business for 35 years, and I am a product of the 80s. But the question that I'd like to ask you on behalf of everybody in the world, that $10 that you borrowed from your old man, did you ever pay him back on that?
You know, no. You know what he did with it? He got it autographed. And he pinned it on his wall.
I'll bet you nobody's ever asked you that question before, have they? Hey, Lita, we're going to have a blast on this.
Funny.
We're going to have a blast on this cruise, and I hope you and some of your band members actually come to. I'm doing 2 shows on the cruise this year, so hopefully you guys can come by and see one of them because I think it would be kind of funny to get some of y'all hypnotized.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God! You don't want to hypnotize me. You'll never know what's going to come out of my mouth.
That's what makes it fun.
That's what it's all about.
Okay.
Well, Lita, let me finish with the introduction. We got Bear here with Brothers and Sisters Foundation, and Mike with Destiny's Dominic's Destiny, a charitable foundation that we'll let Mike explain a little later. Maybe you and your band wants to get behind because it's for children. But once again, we want to talk about the High Seas Rally. We want to talk about your upcoming career and your new album that's coming out. I heard in March of 24.
Yeah, we're working on that. God, I hope. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to do the High Seas Rally cruise. It's going to be a blast. We're all super excited.
Now, is this?
We're going to be in Belize for Halloween. Come on, Belize for Halloween.
Now,
crazy.
Now, is this your first High Seas Rally or is this your second?
You know, I think it's my first because, I mean, we've done a lot of cruises before, but this one is just different. You know, and of course it's all the bikers, and it's just going to be badass.
Wow. You're rolling out of Sturgis. You're rolling out of Sturgis with all those bikers in Sturgis onto a boat with 3,000 leather-clad bikers that are going to just love every minute of you at your concert.
Is that crazy or what?
It is going to be. It is going to be amazing. It's going to be. It's going to be amazing.
Lita, I will tell you, I've done a lot of gigs all over the world, just as much as you have. Maybe not as extravagant as you have, but I will tell you this: I was on the cruise back in 2019.
The bathroom of the 7-Eleven is
I know,
anywhere as extravagant.
You know, I'll hypnotize anybody in a bathroom if they pay me enough money. I don't give a shit. But Lita, I will tell you, out of all the gigs that I have done in my entire career, this is by far one of the most fun, the most entertaining, and the best human beings you will ever meet in the world on the High Seas Rally cruise. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing you guys, and I'm glad I'm on the bill with you guys, man.
Well, we're going to rock the boat.
Damn right we are.
So this is your Virgin tour. This makes you a Virgin High Seas Rally cruiser. And we know what we do. That's what it's all about. You are the Virgin cruiser.
Ooh, lovely Lita.
You got your virginity back.
Like a virgin.
Oh, baby, I'm going to be on you like a rat on a Cheeto.
Nothing.
Okay, I will wear white. Because I'm the virgin.
Well, you might wear white, but you're going to have black panties on, I'm pretty sure.
You know,
Yeah, my
Lita, one thing I do want to start off with is because we do have a lot of female guests out there, and you know, when we talk about music back in the 70s and the 80s, you know, you got 5 decades under your belt of just producing wonderful music and carving that pathway for women all over the country. You picked up the guitar at such a young age. What was your inspiration to just say, instead of playing with dolls and having tea parties, saying, hey man, I want to play a guitar?
I did do exactly that. I had 2 Barbie dolls. One was Ken and one was Barbie, and I kicked them to the bottom corner of my closet, and they never came back out. I think my cousin Steve took them.
Nice.
Yeah, I know it, right? It's true. And I just wanted to play guitar. I don't even know where that came from. I just wanted to be a guitar player. At 11 years old, I got my first guitar, which was a present from my mother and father for Christmas. And that was it. I mean, I never put it down since.
Were you self-taught?
You know, kind of crazy.
Self-taught, or did you take lessons?
You know, I learned off of my favorite records. And I had a record player. And it was one of those great, big, long record players where the turntable was on one side, all the controls were on the other side about, 5 feet away. And then there was the TV in the middle. And
the speakers
so
on both sides of it.
Turntable. And I would play my favorite stuff, like Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, all the real guitar players and the riffs and all my favorite stuff. And I would push the needle back in the grooves. And it would just, and then it would play the riff over again, and I would figure it out.
So you were rapping before, you were rapping back in the 70s, man, with the vinyl.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, but anybody I could learn anything from, whether it was the next door neighbor's kid or the guy over at the park, it didn't matter. I wanted to pick up anything and everything anybody could teach me and apply it, and I learned a lot of shit like that. Can I say shit on the radio?
Yeah.
Shit, no.
Oh.
Shit, no.
Cool. So it was good, and then at 16 I joined the Runaways. I got the phone call from Kim Fowley, which changed my life, and he gave me the spiel of a lifetime. And I packed up my stuff and drove to Hollywood and drove to Beverly and joined the Runaways.
Wow. That's very cool.
Kind of a crazy story.
Go ahead, Gary.
No, Ted Nugent is one of my very good friends, Lita, and I did not hear you mention him at all in this spiel, and that's a little discrepancy there. We're going to have to figure out how to fix this. You need to tell Ted just how much you love him, because I'm sending him this video.
I do, and he knows it. And I have always loved Ted. Some of the best guitar riffs ever on the planet. Don't think I don't know how to play them. If Ted ever lets me to get up and jam. But we just played a show in a Veterans Memorial Park in Michigan, outside of Detroit. And, I know Ted and his family, either they probably still have property there. The place was packed. I'm like, whoa, this is insane. There was just thousands and thousands of people that showed up at this Veterans Memorial Park. And I had to say, that I had to say thank you to Uncle Ted, because he got that wheel rolling. He got that ball rolling, and it's still there today. All the respect to Ted Nugent. I love him.
And Stranglehold is one of the greatest love songs of all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like Cold Apple.
Hey, Lita, this is 12.
I love that.
Hey, Lita, this is 12, and I gotta tell you, I have been a fan for as long as I can possibly remember. I used to have a poster of you hanging up in.
Let's not go down this road.
But,
me and 12 both.
Every man is going down that same road.
I know, and I know I'm not the only one at this table, so I feel secure in saying that. But just a long-time fan. But I have a question. So this is going to be your first High Seas Rally cruise, and last year was the first time for Sideshow, and one of the things that was kind of unusual, and I just want to get your feelings and your thoughts on this. You know, we've watched you for, you know, ever on MTV and videos and everything, and you know, you're playing big stages with thousands of people out there. This is a little more intimate, and from our experience last year, you know, we hung out with the guys from Molly Hatchet and Foghat, and we drank with them in the elevator. Sideshow got sloshed with one of them on the elevator. How do you feel about that up close and personal kind of experience with your fans?
You know, I'm good with it. I mean, growing up in the Runaways days, we played everywhere. You know, low ceilings where your guitar neck was just digging into the ceiling, and the condensation dripping off the walls because the place was so packed but so small. And I'm good with it. And I think that's one of the things that my band and my crew love, is that we can take on any situation pretty much, you know. And so I'm good with up close and personal. Sometimes it's easier than playing to these large arenas, and they blind you with the spotlights and you can't see anybody. Yeah. And I'm always complaining, you know, turn those lights off.
I know, I always have that problem.
Well, I can guarantee you there's a generation of men that will be on that cruise that will want to be packed up as close to the stage as possible, helping you rock and roll during your performances on that boat. And I will be one of them.
I'm
I'll
number
be
two.
one of them. Bear will be one of them.
Yeah.
You know, Lita, this new generation needs to understand what real rock and roll is all about, in my opinion.
Yes.
And I was one of those guys that had your poster on the wall too. You know, Pat Benatar. I even had Grace Slick on my freaking wall. Nowadays they have
Now
Dylan.
you got Martha Stewart.
Dylan Mulvaney. No. Nowadays this generation's got Dylan Mulvaney on their wall for some freaking reason. You know, so.
Do they even have posters anymore?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, but you know, the cruise is going to be awesome, and I'm just so excited to perform for everybody, and we're gonna shake that boat.
Hell
we're
yeah,
gonna take it over.
But
I mean, I would even drive it if they would let me.
Oh, I'm sure if you ask, they'll be more than happy to
You know, I
steer.
actually tried that when I was on the cruise. They almost threw me overboard. So
I don't think they'll throw a leader over.
So here, I can see this. Picture this in your mind, ladies and gentlemen. Lita Ford is going to be rocking everybody on this boat with that great freaking guitar jamming rock and roll like it's supposed to be.
Right.
And then I'm going to be rocking the boat with everybody fucking laughing their asses off because they're acting like an idiot.
You got a pretty high opinion of
I do.
yourself.
I'm going to make it happen.
You got
It's
a pretty high
coming.
opinion.
You strap yourself in and hold on to the bar, baby, because it's coming.
I'm waiting. You know, Lita, one thing that really, me and 12 really dig into, and we spoke to Henry Paul from the Outlaws a couple of weeks ago. You know, with just like him, you have so many generations under your belt of music. So you really lived through, without the internet, without YouTube. I watched a video the other day of, because 12 just brought up MTV, and it was way back. I think you were about 17 years old with Martha Stewart, with what's her name, Martha Quinn on MTV. And, you know, to see things change through your career, do you think they're better now, or were they better back then?
That's a trick question, because, if I could be the Lita that I am today back then, you know, it would have been quite something. But, you know, back then, the rock world was different, completely different. And just going through a lot of the learning process, and it's finding the right team of people to trust and work with, and, you know, be on stage with. And it was a lot. And now I feel like, here we are in 2023, I feel like my life has come full circle. And first of all, I'm really grateful that I'm still here, and I'm still rocking, and I'm still okay. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be. Theoretically, I probably should have died quite a few times. But I've been blessed, and I'm grateful, and we're in a really, really good place. Everybody is so great, and I wouldn't change anything today.
Yeah.
You know, and if it took me 4 or 5 decades to get here, then that's okay. I'm here.
No, but
we did it.
But the grind was different, right? The grind back then, you know, bands trying to just make it ahead, and now everybody, you know, they put a song on YouTube and they're already a sensation. You guys really put the blood, sweat, and tears into your music and playing those shitholes to try to get noticed, and you guys made it. And that's what I think brought you guys 5 decades. Same with the Outlaws and all the bands, the iconic bands from the 70s who made it to now that still rock the stage, that still sell out those concerts.
And people don't make that music anymore.
That's right. You're not going to see these YouTube sensations now 5 decades from now. You know, you guys really paved that way. You are the true legends of rock and roll.
Of heavy metal.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's
we
really,
are.
That's what really brings chills to your body, and that's why people love going to your concerts.
Hey,
Oh,
Lita, this
cool.
is
I love
12
that
again.
story.
In keeping with the up close and personal theme of the cruise and how
You're really trying to get close to her. You're almost a
and
stalker.
I started to use the
You're
word-
really starting to get stalky-ish.
I almost used the word intimate there, you know, the intimate setting. One of our listeners, a fellow
Good
named
word.
James Coulon, he wants to know if you would be interested, or if you might be, as some of them did last year, play poolside acoustically, just to kind of chill out and be up close and personal with your fans.
I don't know. But, you know,
Depends
I
on
love
how
that
much
idea. And maybe we should just bring a couple of acoustics with us, and so just in case. That's a good idea.
And Lita, I'm offering my security services here for 12 and Sideshow because they're a little stalkerish right now. So.
And if y'all
Really
can't find
stalkerish.
acoustics, I can bring a couple for you. I mean, I'll help you out.
It's your stalker guys.
But we're friendly.
You know, I'll tell you, Lita, we're bringing up what James just brought up. You know, Steel Rod did that last year on the boat. You know, we were walking through the galley, whatever, it was the main part of the ship, and there was this pizza place open. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. Steel Rod is sitting in there, has about 20 people in it, and they're just kicked back on the chairs, just strumming their acoustics, man, and just singing. And it was like 20 people just enjoying the night, just like
Wow.
really just like absorbing the music and just feeling that. And it wasn't like a whole big crowd. It was just like relaxing, and it was probably the most intense moments of my life that you were able to just hang out with those guys and hear their music for what it really
And
is.
dude, you were drunk. Pee Wee Herman could have been doing the same thing, and you'd have been so excited about it.
Well, I sat behind Pee Wee. I sat behind
He
him in
was
the
in the
movie
theater
theater.
with
I was in the theater with him.
They had a connection going.
Hey, God bless.
rest his
Rest
soul.
in peace.
Yeah,
Rest in
yeah.
peace. You know. He's in God's.
Oh, you guys are insane.
Yeah, it's gonna get. You know, we are all really good guys. We're not gonna go crazy on the ship too much.
Has your court
12.
order expired yet?
What?
Has your court order expired yet?
Yes, I am allowed within 50
You are allowed?
feet now
Okay.
of people.
All right.
Oh, no. I'm in
Lita, you
trouble.
are definitely going to have a blast on this cruise. And as I mentioned
Yeah.
earlier, the most incredible human beings I've ever met anywhere in the world. And I say this a lot as a hypnotist. People never remember what you said to them, but they'll always remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
And the feeling that you're going to get on this cruise is unlike any gig you've ever done in your life. I'll guarantee it.
And Lita, so you know, I'm reading the comments as you're talking, and we got a lot of new first-time listeners today. I'm sure it has a lot to do with you being on the show. A lot of your fans are on here, but they're seconding that acoustic idea, by the way. So maybe that might be, you know, that's a professional decision, but might be something you might want to consider, because I'm guessing you'd have a really, really good draw up on deck 11.
It'd be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun. I mean, you know, and once
sounds
again,
blast.
you know the biker community. You just played Sturgis. How was playing to, you know, what is it? We just played to 50,000 bikers. How was that? What was the feeling like instead, you know, playing there?
It's just so badass. It's, you know what the cool thing is, you can get on stage, do a song, and pour your heart out to the audience, and then they rev their motorcycles in between the songs. So rather than, you know, clapping and yeah, Lita and all that stuff, you just get all this thunder from the bikes and the motorcycles. And sometimes, you know, you can't move until they're done revving their bikes. You can't hear anything. You know, you can't speak over it. It's like, just let them finish. Let them do what they got to do.
Sounds like my wife. Just let them finish. Just let them finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and turn the lights off.
Well,
Turn
you
the
know
lights
what I'm
off.
talking about. I mean, it's the same thing, only different. But but they, you know, they just show their love and appreciation by revving their motorcycles, and it's
Goes right through you.
You know, you just got to suck it up.
That sounds like a Yamaha.
You know
Yeah.
what,
It's a
Lita?
compliment.
I got an idea. I think we should write a new song called "Rev It Up."
Rev it up. Let's
Yeah.
write it now. Let's write it right
Well,
now.
I could do it.
We can write it right now. So, your new album that's coming out, are these all? I mean, putting a new album together has got to be some work, man. How long has this been in the works?
Well, I mean, first of all, I have not signed a record contract yet.
Okay.
I'm going back and forth with a couple of labels, and I haven't put the pen to the paper yet. And so it's still kind of up in the air. And the reason being is this record has taken me a long time to put together. I basically had to live it before I could write it. And there were a lot of things that happened along the way with my partners and my songwriting team, and COVID locked everything down for a year, as you guys know.
Yep.
And we couldn't get in to do drum tracks, and just it was all kinds of stuff, all kinds of wrenches in the spokes, and I'm just like, another wrench in the spokes. Okay, well, let's just get it out, clean it up, and let's just keep moving forward. And the album is really special, and it's really great, and it tells a lot of stories, and it just needs to find the right home before I can let it out there. I want it to be treated properly. This is not a record that I wrote in a weekend, and I'm not trying to make a big cash deal out of it. I just want the fans to have something that they can really sink their teeth into and really enjoy, along with videos. And I know it's not the 80s anymore, but it is a very visual world. And I want to be able to do that, because these songs are visual, you know, as well as rockin'. When you hear them, you're like, oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah,
You know?
and we'll tell you, and 12 is probably thinking right through his head. He's going, no, the visuals are good because you still rock that leather. You still rock that leather.
Thank you. Yes, I love my leather. I do love my
And
leather.
we love you.
Yeah.
More than you know.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you. I don't have any posters, though. Did you tear yours up?
You know, I don't know what happened to it over the years.
Mine's stuck together.
Gary's is stuck together. But, there was it's the one, you know, where you're wearing the jeans with the cuts in it.
Absolutely.
That is my. I have
And her
several
hair's blowing back.
Yeah, but that was my all
You know,
time.
I think Lita runs a real. No, actually, Farrah Fawcett and Lita probably dominated most of the young kids' rooms back then, man.
Yeah.
You know, it was either Farrah Fawcett in the red bikini or Lita in the jeans. One or the other.
That kind of brings up a question that I have for you, Lita. You know, you mentioned the '80s, and to me, I am that's my era. I love that stadium anthem rock kind of thing.
Yes, we're all old.
Because we're all old, yeah. But you and several of your peers, female peers, were kind of an oddity back then. There weren't that many female artists back then that were like you, that played the hard rock, that could really grab a guitar and get after it. And what was it like? Because, you know, I can imagine, just as a business person, you know, you're trying to make a name for yourself. You're trying to establish the Lita Ford brand.
Women weren't respected back then.
Exactly, but you're going against, you know, the hair bands and you know, I've had the opportunity to meet a few of them over the years and have some conversations, and, you know, good guys, but they're in business too. They're trying to establish their brand. How was it as a woman back then, trying to you know, chisel out your place as a respected guitar player?
It got pretty frustrating at times. You know, there are a lot of hurdles to jump. And I think, you know, the main thing for me was I just needed to stay true to myself and just do what I wanted to do and be who I wanted to be. And everyone, you know, the record company would say things like, "Oh, Lita, you're wearing too much makeup. Take that makeup off." Or, and I wouldn't do it. I'm like, no, I'm not taking it off. And I'm 20 years old. I can wear makeup, you know, come on.
You're not my dad.
And,
you can't tell me not to wear makeup.
Oh, hey, by the way, one of our listeners says the makeup on you looked much better than it did on some of the guys.
Yeah. Well, some of them were very pretty. They were very pretty back then. I know. God, it's just like, wow. But, you know, I mean, there was a lot of great things about the 80s. So many wonderful things. And just to be able to have been a part of it was huge. And I have stories galore I could just go on and on about. But just the fact that you know, we were there is huge. You know, all the colors and the guitars and colors in the clothes. And it was, yes, big hair. Yeah, I love that big hair.
Well, you know, Lita, you should be extremely proud of yourself, because you have literally helped pave the way to where we are now.
Without a doubt.
You are the soundtrack of our life, truly.
Love it.
And I said the same thing to Kevin DeBro, man. I loved Kevin. Kevin and I had a lot of time together.
You said the same thing to me in 12. You said that before the show to me in 12.
Yeah.
That me in 12 paved the way in the radio. What are you using the same words over and over again?
Kevin told me once, he said, "Gary, if you ever want to come to Vegas, man, here's a code of my house, but just don't tell my wife." I'm like, "I'm not going to sleep with your ass." I mean, what are you talking about? He said, "Well, my girlfriend might be there."
No.
Hey, getting on guitars, like you were just talking about guitars. Lita, I see that, you know, in a lot of your videos, you're kind of prone to one guitar or colorful guitars. You know, your guitars aren't the standard kind of guitars. Is there anything particular you like? Are they like Les Paul, Fenders, West? What do you like?
Well, you know, that was another thing, too, about going against the grain. When the Runaways broke up and I became a solo artist, I just had to create Lita. You know, and the Runaways were gone out of my life. I'm like, okay, well, now it's time to be Lita, but who is she? What does she look like? What does she wear? What kind of guitars does she play? And in the Runaways, I played Hamer Explorers. And they were the original, you know, I think the first 12 made. Me and Rick Nielsen have them.
Oh, wow.
And I still have them, and they're just the greatest guitars ever. But I didn't want to carry that look into the Lita era. So I got hooked up with BC Rich Guitars, and back then they were a completely different company than what they are now. Their guitars were insane. They were edgy. They were dangerous looking.
Great sound, great tone to them.
They were very different.
They had a great tone to those guitars. Had a great sound to them.
A great sound. And a lot of that, you know, was the pickups and the preamps and the wood. And they're solid. They're heavy, like a Les Paul, like an old Les Paul. I mean, you could kill somebody with those guitars if you really wanted to. I mean, they're so heavy, you know. And so I just wanted to be Lita, and I wanted to shock people, I guess. Oh, she's not playing a Strat, or oh, she doesn't play a Les Paul. I mean, what else is there?
Right.
You know, because my idols were Ritchie Blackmore, who played a Strat. I loved Jimi Hendrix, who played a Strat. And I loved Jimmy Page, who played the Les Pauls. And then I'm thinking, well, Lita, you are none of those guys. So you need to just be Lita. What kind of guitar does Lita play? Well, she's going to play a warlock. And she's going to play these rich bitches.
Nice.
And why? Because everyone's going to go, what the hell is she playing? Yes, exactly. Ask me that question, yes. And then later on, you know, Motley Crue, I know Nikki started playing the Warlocks, and Blackie Lawless started playing the Warlocks.
God, I love Wasp.
And, yeah, I know, they were so awesome.
Love
and
Wasp.
So, you know, it's like, you guys think you're going to take all the credit for that, but you know damn well where you got that from. You just don't want to admit it.
So once again, you paved the way not only in music for these young ladies, you paved the way in guitars for groups like Motley Crue and everybody else.
I did. I helped. I sure as hell helped. And you know, my old bass player that I had back in the day when we did the first Lita album, Neil Merriweather was my bass player, and he was really, really good at making leather stuff. And, you know, this is amazing. And he would show up at rehearsal with a leather G-string with a spider on the crotch. And, or a, you know, like a gauntlet that you'd strap onto your hand and snap it around your wrist. And it would have eyes on it or something just really cool looking. And so, you know, I mean, I love Nicky, but he did cop that idea. With the gauntlets, and Neil was like, "Hey, that's my idea." You know,
that's the greatest form of flattery, right there, man. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
Yeah, yeah, and so Nicky cut my hair. You know, I had this long, straight, thick, silky, 17-year-old hair.
Ooh la la.
And then I met Nicky, and he chopped it all off and gave me a Motley Crue shag. I've never been the same since.
Nicky still has great hair.
You know, that's funny you say that. Anyone that has ever hung out with Motley Crue will never be the same, ever.
You know, you see some of those stories on Motley Crue, man, and it's just the parties that they must have been. I could just imagine just spending one night on a Sunset Strip with those guys.
No.
It's got to be. It's got to be incredible.
No,
it's got to be an incredible night.
No, we're not. We're not that young anymore. We can't hang.
Hey, listen, if I'm going to go out, that's going to be the best way to go out, man. You know.
So, Lita, back to the cruise real quick. Just we got some people wondering your set. Have you started thinking about that? Is it still too early? So we're 60 days, 59 days out. Are you going to be like the Lita Ford greatest hits or some of the new album? Like, have you figured that out yet? What you're going to do on the cruise when you perform?
Well, yeah, yeah. We have an assortment of stuff, and we just, you know, we don't always follow what the set list says. And sometimes I'll throw a song out there, and the band kind of looks around, and you know, they'll roll up their sleeves and they're like, "Okay, let's do this."
Free bird.
And, yeah, why not?
That would be iconic, man. That would be iconic.
Yeah.
You play it, I'll sing it.
That would be iconic, man.
Yeah, I love that.
We're getting people asking, when you coming to Dallas? Michael Malone over here on our feed is going, when is she coming to Dallas? Play AT&T Stadium.
We have some Texas shows in December, this December. And I'm not looking right now, so I don't know the exact dates. I know Houston's one. I want to say Dallas is one. And then there's a couple more in there, but it's December. I don't think we posted it yet on our webpage.
Oh well, you know, I pulled up some of your tour dates. Hey, Mike, if you listen, just go on to LitaFordOnline.com. Her whole tour list throughout the year is on that LitaFordOnline.com, and you'll be able to see when she's coming to Dallas. I only have up to the High Seas Rally here because you got a busy schedule from September 1st to the 28th, man. You are all over the place: New York, Minnesota, Indianapolis, Rhode Island, New York, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Vermont, Maryland. You are traveling like crazy.
Like crazy. Okay, I'm looking at my schedule. So December
17th.
The 14th, we're in San Antonio. So it's the second week of December. San Antonio, Texas. I know it's nowhere near Dallas. Dallas. The 17th of December. The Factory in Deep Ellum.
In Deep
Ellum.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah.
It's right around the corner from the studio.
Hey, you think you could put us on that guest list? We can come in to that show.
Hey,
That's right in our
after
backyard.
After she meets you on the cruise, she's not going to want to have you anywhere around
That's
her.
right in our backyard in Deep Ellum,
Yeah,
man.
let's go back to that stalkish thing here, guys.
That court order will be back in effect.
I can rock a leather G-string with a spider on it.
It'll go good with your ankle monitor.
That was at 500-foot distance. So
It matches my ankle monitor. That was good, Bob. I like that.
So hold on a second here, Lita. I have to tell you something. He could probably wear a leather thong with a spider on it. The problem is he'll never see it.
It's a baby spider. It ain't one of those big tarantulas. It's just a baby spider. It's all right. Scared the shit out of you, though. I'll tell you that right now. Doesn't matter how big the spider is. You're going to still run from it.
All right. Let me just clear the air right here. Lita, I'm going to just warn you ahead of time. If you're hanging out around the pool on the cruise, if you see someone in a lime green Borat banana hammock, that'll be Sideshow. Okay? So you can just, I'm forewarning you.
And the funny thing is he hasn't seen Mr. Winky in years, so you're probably going to see it before he does.
You are dying to get me into that banana hammock. You want me in that lime green banana hammock?
I've been working on it for 3 years.
My God. Am I going to end up on your wall on a poster?
Who says you're not already?
So what's that show at the Hard Rock in Dallas?
Yeah. That's right. She's gonna be like, I don't want any of those guys near me.
I don't want anything to do with these guys. These guys are just stalkerish.
Man, it was so.
No.
It's gonna be like, did you see?
No, these guys are stalkerish.
Did you see that thing? Did you see that thing with? It was on the news the other day. Drew Barrymore, a stalker. That I guess somebody who's stalking her walks up to one of her talk shows. This was on the news. Walks up to the stage. And Drew Barrymore was just starting to talk, and she was like, you see the fear of God in her eyes, and she gets shuffled off stage the whole bit, right? And the security grabs this guy. That's how Lita's going to be. We're going to walk up there and just be like, oh, no, I saw you guys on video. Security.
That was actually Sideshow. That was actually Sideshow's brother that he's talking about, so it runs in the family. All right, Lita.
Is that a real thing, Drew Barrymore? That happened to her, really?
Yeah, it was on the news. I mean, she was doing this interview. I just caught a glimpse of it. She was doing this interview, and this guy who she has a restraining order against, stalker, walks in, and he starts saying something to her, and all of a sudden you see her just like drop the mic. She's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. She kept her cool, but the lady that was interviewing her must have knew what happened, got up, like shielded her. Then the whole security team came in, and they pulled him out.
Listen,
Man.
all he wanted was a case of Bud Light.
So you should know.
That's all he wanted.
That's all he wanted.
So you should know that on the cruise, though, this is, what I was kind of referring to earlier. We watch all the videos, and you see, you're in a stadium with thousands of fans, and, you have your crew, you come on, you're escorted onto the stage from the dressing room, you got your crew escorting you off, then out to the limos and whatnot. What really differentiates this cruise is how close and up close and personal you are. You're in the elevators with your fans, and what we noticed last year, because we were going around talking to folks and doing stuff for the rally, is how for all the fun everybody's having, how low key and personal It is. There was no, like, you got no bad vibes from anybody. Given the amount of alcohol that was being consumed on that cruise, it was a surprise, but everybody was very personal. I mean, like, you could get on the elevator with 10 or 15 of the cruisers and think absolutely nothing of it. It just was a whole
What he's trying to say,
vibe.
what he's trying to say, Miss Lita, is you have nowhere to go.
That is not what I was saying.
But you can't hide. You better get that guitar and that leather G-string out and play me a song.
But it is a different vibe, and I'm guessing if you're like used to, you know, when you go to your gigs, and you kind of have a routine that you get into before, like, pregame
Sure.
and postgame and stuff. This was completely different because, I mean, there were a number of times that, like, Sideshow and I together separately would hop in the elevator to be going to one thing or another, and you'd run into one of the guys from the bands, the lead singers from the bands, Xavier.
Xavier, I was just going to bring him up, man.
Black Smoke Sinners, and formerly, you know, with Buck Cherry. Just one of the most down-to-earth great guys I've ever met, and we had drinks with him on several occasions. It's just a whole different vibe where you can, like, let your guard down just a bit and really have that.
Have fun.
You might not want
Have
the
fun.
fan experience, but it
have
is
fun, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. That's what the High Seas Rally shot for. It's just it makes everybody from the passenger to the high entertainment all one, and just enjoying, because we are there for two good causes, which is the Wounded Warrior Project and the Dialysis Foundation. So everybody's there to raise money, to have a good time, but really to help those people in need and make a difference. Then that's what High Seas Rally is all about.
HighSeasRally.com is the way to go check it out if you're listening right now. Lita Ford's going to be on there with us, and we so look forward to that, Miss Lita. Also, the Outlaws and Thoroughgoods playing for us down in Key West.
Yeah.
It's going to be a blast.
Yeah. Lita, we don't want to take up too much more of your time, but because we get a lot of fans, they're all over our thread right now asking questions. If you could say a couple things to the fans, what would it be? Like what inspires you? What inspires your music? Something to the fans that are all tuning in right now and listening.
Oh, God. Well.
Caught you off guard, sorry.
Me? No, I just, it's all right. I love my fans, and, I'm just grateful I'm still here. I'm grateful I'm still able to rock and roll. And the things that inspire me today are completely different than the things that inspired me when I was a kid, you know. Leather still inspires me. I always loved it. And
Mike's going, me too,
leather.
me too.
Yeah, I don't care if it's real or vegan. But the things I do with myself these days are different than what I was able to do in the early days of music. I mean, I still play loud rock and roll in my house, and I've got a Marshall in every room, and I blast whatever song I wake up with. Sometimes, I have to play music before I can even get out of bed. 6 o'clock, whatever. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I don't care. Let's crank this. And music just kind of gets me through every day. It gets you through the good times and the hard times.
Indeed.
And I don't know, anybody getting married, anybody, gone through, even our veterans, some of our retired military, and, these guys that have been through hell, our PTSD. I mean, rock and roll will give you PTSD also. But if you hang on to those great songs and hang on to those great memories, then it'll get you through. And that's it. That's what my everyday consists of. Trying to stay healthy and trying to keep moving forward.
Hell yeah, man.
Music does feed the soul. It keeps you young. It brings back the good and bad memories of your lifetime. Man, and it does supply a lot for everybody who is battling, and we hit that hard on this show all the time, which with mental health is, music definitely soothes the soul, and it will cleanse you in one time or another. I just want to talk about one thing that you brought up, vegan, and I heard a rumor. Well, I was watching a podcast, and I heard a rumor that you have nothing but greens in your green room. Is that true?
We're yeah, we're pretty healthy. You know, we kind of help each other. But, you know, we do have deli meats for those who want it. And, you know, we order chicken and beef and stuff like that. I don't eat it that much. I just like to stay light, and I eat a lot of greens. Bobby Rock, our drummer, is vegan, 100% vegan. And
who's the guy in your band that runs all the time?
Well, I'm sure being on the road.
The guy in your band that runs all the time.
Yes, that's Bobby, yeah, our drummer.
Yeah, he wears me out. I mean,
yeah, I know it.
He does live videos where he's running like he was running next to Lake Tahoe the other day or someplace. I don't remember where he was, but I'm sitting there watching this guy run and I'm doing a live video. I'm like, dude, I'm tired.
You know what's bad when you get tired watching somebody else run.
Some dude run. I'm tired. I'm like, I want to go back to look at my Lita Ford poster.
But you know what the scary thing? The scary thing about that is, why are you on your phone watching men run? That's the deeper question.
Yeah.
That, you know,
and Lita, I want to tell you something.
You know, when we talk about, you got to listen to some more rock and roll and stop watching men on the internet run.
Before we wrap this up, Miss Lita, there's one thing I want to tell you about Sideshow, and I don't know if you're well aware of this or not, but he was in a famous movie. He was in a movie that you may have seen. He was a stunt double in Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, no. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, but the pay was good. The pay was good. I did it for the money.
Hey, $25 is $25, okay?
That's right. And he told me he loved me. That was one hell of a massage on that mountain.
Jesus Christ. You guys are out of control.
You guys are scary.
Lita, on behalf of the 99% Radio Network, on behalf of Gary Michaels and brothers and sisters and FBRN.US, we want to thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely.
And we cannot wait to see you on the ship and hear you just blast it out in concert.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait, you guys.
Yeah, you have a great tour, and for anybody who's listening, go on to LitaFordOnline.com. You can check out some of the dates, and she will be here in the Dallas area coming in December.
December 17th.
December 17th, she'll be in Little Elm, San Antonio.
Yep.
She'll be in San Antonio, and I think you said Houston too.
She's going to be in.
I think Houston, and we're going to be with Winger, Warrant,
wow,
and Steelheart on December the 17th in Dallas.
I'm going.
I'm there.
Yeah,
I'm there. We're there. We're there.
Yeah, baby.
All your stalkers are there, man. All your stalkers will be right there.
I love my stalkers.
Yeah. Lita, rock on, baby. We look forward to seeing you on the cruise if we don't see you before 12.
Thank you, Lita, so much. I was looking at your tour schedule and all, and know how valuable this 45 minutes that you gave us, which is much, much more than a couple of knuckleheads had any right to expect. So thank you very, very much for taking the time to come on our show today.
It's my pleasure. I have a great big smile on my face. And listen, I want to wish all your listeners and everybody an awesome Labor Day weekend. And have a great time. Have a great weekend.
We got a couple of Gary Michaels shows going on this weekend because it's 99% Labor Day extravaganza. 2 Gary Michaels shows at the VFW 5076, Turning Point Beer. Then the ultimate bike ride from Longhorn Harley Davidson to Takeover in Grapevine with Gary Michaels.
It's going to be
It's going to be a wonderful weekend.
The only thing missing is Lita Ford.
That's right. Well, she's going to be on. She's on tour. She'll be in Vegas. She'll be in Vegas, baby, on September 1st. That's where I want to be.
Baby.
At the Golden Nugget. So if you're in Vegas, check Lita Ford out at the Golden Nugget on September 1st. And then you're going over to Hinckley on September 9th in Minnesota. Woo, that's a trip.
Big difference.
Big difference in weather right there.
Yeah, it's just the United States. It's not that big.
Not at all. Well, once again, have a safe tour. We'll see you on in Tampa on the 28th.
Okay, guys, be safe.
Rock on.
All right.
See you soon.
Take care.
See you for
Take care,
Halloween.
Lita. Thank you so much.
God bless.
God bless. Man, that was Lita Ford. man, she's gonna rock the High Seas Rally. Go to LitaFordOnline.com. Check out the concert, the tour package that she's got coming on.
It was actually a very quick 45 minutes.
It
I mean, I knew.
I didn't want to keep her too long, man. I didn't want to drag it on.
She was
too
on,
much.
longer than.
And y'all are doing enough stalking so I can get what I wanted to get in there. So maybe next
You
time.
need a towel?
I do.
I wonder what that knocking on
You know, on that note, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, so these guys can clean up and we can get housekeeping in here to get the drips off the bottom of the table. We'll be back right after this.